Hi, I'm Justin Jensen, and welcome to my channel. It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust, sweat, and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and may fall again and again, because there is no effort without error or shortcoming. Teddy Roosevelt. Well, hello everyone. Hope you are doing well. 8 o'clock on the East Coast, and we got a lot to talk about. A lot. Ann Walsh missing out of Boston. A lot is coming out. Affidavit has come out. I know a lot of you are good to see everyone. Thank you guys for all being here. I do appreciate it. Her husband he was arrested. He had a court hearing this morning. We will watch that if you haven't seen it yet. But then we've got a lot to talk about, a lot, because a couple things has happened. A lot has happened with this case today, actually. We have the court hearing. We have the affidavit. And we have a new place they are looking. And it's not any place where really we thought it would be, or at least I didn't think. I just never thought. And I'll give you a little spoiler alert. In the affidavit, it says the husband, his name is Brian too, Googled how to dismember a body. How to dismember a body. That's definitely not a good sign. Beautiful family, worth a lot of money, both very hard workers. And now their 3 children are in state custody. Yes. So we got a lot to talk about. First of all, how it began, Anna was supposed to go to work. She works in DC, and she was, supposed to take an airplane ride there, and she didn't, she not seen leaving the house. She was not seen getting on the air. She was not seen at the airport. Not seen getting on any aircraft or anything, and everyone thought that was suspicious. Nobody, the husband really, kind of called the Anna's boss, if you will, her coworkers, and made this voice message, and I'm going to play it for you. Let me know if it echoes too, by the way.
Good afternoon, Brian Walsh. I hope all is going well. I was just reaching out to basically everybody I could. Anna hasn't been in touch for a few days. I spoke to work today. She hasn't been in. they went to the house and she wasn't there, or looked like she's been there recently. So just wondering if you've spoken to her in the near, recently, like Sunday or in the last 2 days. Just so let me know, or if you know anyone that might have had contact with her, just calling everyone. So sorry to bother you. Sure, everything's fine, and you can reach me. Thanks. Good afternoon, Brian Walsh. Hope all is going well. I was just
So he was just calling to check on his wife because he hasn't heard in her in a few days, and that's very weird. Because he certainly hadn't called the cops, hadn't called anyone else, and it was the coworkers whose idea it was in order to call authorities. Um, so they later found probable cause, which you will learn here in the hearing that happened today. And you're going to be shocked. It's a little low.
On the terms of that to protect attorney-client, he has been incredibly cooperative. The charges are not guilty. So getting course of investigation. The investigation is into the missing person of Anna Walsh. Anna is the wife of this defendant. She's 37 years old. They have 3 children, 2, 4, and 6. Anna Walsh was last seen on New Year's Day about between 4 and 6 a.m. in the morning. The defendant indicated that she left the house to go, she works in Washington, D.C. The defendant indicated in the subsequent interview that she left the house around 6 a.m., taking an Uber or Lyft to go to the airport, where she was going to go to work in D.C. That was the last time she was seen. In the course of the investigation, police were notified around January 4th by her employees in Washington, D.C., that she had not shown up for work on January 4th. That was the first time that she was notified that she was missing. Up until this point, the defendant had not notified anyone that she was missing. In the investigation, it was determined that she actually had a plane ticket for January 3rd, which she did not use, and did not show up at the airport, nor her DC job or her apartment in DC. It was indicated that the defendant, police checked during the course of this investigation. There was not a Uber or any kind of Lyft that had picked her up on January 1st. In fact, in the course of the investigation, it was determined that her cell phone pinged in the area of the house, which is located on Chief Justice Cushing Way.
Okay, so let's interrupt it there. Brian is saying that she left for the airport. She got a ride share to go to the airport. The ride share saying nobody was picked up at this location. The airport is saying nobody came. She didn't come to this location. And the airlines is saying she never got on any flight. Okay. So after that happened, she's 47? I thought she was 39. Is she really 47? I don't remember. I'm married to a Brian for 30 years. Well, that's good. You got a good Brian. So anyway, after they, all of this happens, Brian's still saying, I don't know where she is. I don't know where she is. I don't know where she is. We got 3 kids together, 2, 4, and 6 years old. They are in state custody right now because of you, Brian, in my opinion. It just so happens while he's saying, well, she's not here. She took her phone. She went somewhere, flew out. Her phone pings. Her phone pings. The husband's 47. Okay. I didn't think she was 47, but who am I? The phone pings at her house. Well, that's when they really started questioning Mr. Bryan. Let's continue. You're not. It's really bad. The judge said she's 37. Okay, that's what I was.
Her phone pinged on the first and the second, which is after the defendant had said she had left. Additionally, the defendant right now was on house arrest, pending sentencing in federal court. Part of that probation and condition, he was to report his whereabouts if he was to leave the house. He indicated as part of the investigation, when police spoke with him, that on January 1st, he went to his mother's house. However, it took him a lot longer because he got lost going to his mother's house in Swampscott. He also subsequently indicated and stated to the police that he went to Whole Foods and CVS. Police subsequently did surveillance and checked. There was no surveillance or indication that he went to Whole Foods nor CVS. He indicated he purchased some items. There's no receipts for him having purchased that. He then returned home. Surveillance was checked by several police during this time frame. These statements caused a lot of delay as part of the investigation, as police now were focusing on the North Shore. He further indicated that on January 2nd, as he was supposed to report in, that the only time he left is that he went to take his son for some ice cream. Surveillance checked during the investigation indicated that defendant, in fact, on January 2nd, sometime after 4 o'clock, went to the Home Depot, which is in Auckland. He's on surveillance at that time, purchasing about $450 worth of cleaning supplies. That would include mops, bucket, tops, T-Vex, drop cloths, as well as various kinds of tape.
So he left 2 different times. He's got this ankle monitoring bracelet on. He's not supposed to be leaving the house. He leaves the house, says he goes to CVS and Whole Foods one time. They don't see him on surveillance at all. At Whole Foods, they don't see him at CVS. No receipts, no surveillance, anything. This is him right here. I call him like he should probably mess it or write Lori Vallow when he is in prison, if he goes, that is, in my opinion, because he's the smiling version of Lori Vallow. This guy then says he takes his son out to eat ice cream. And on his way there, after eating ice cream, he's going to his mother's home. On his way, he says he gets lost going to his mother's. Yeah, happens to us all the time. We get lost going to mommy's house all the time. Doesn't it? Doesn't happen. It just so happens he didn't take his kid to get ice cream. He didn't even have his kid, one of his kids, for ice cream. He didn't even go see his mother that we're aware of. He was at the Home Depot buying $450 worth of cleaning supplies. Doesn't seem strange. Wife's missing. You got an ankle bracelet on. You've not followed. You've lied to us already about where you've been. Now you're buying $450 worth of cleaning supplies. You know, these tarps, all of this stuff. Okay. Now they start searching more in the basement. They find a knife that is broken, which we will get to, blood on the knife, and some really bad news. They still have not found his beloved wife. But in my opinion, only he knows where she is. And we'll continue. We're going to get to the affidavit in a little bit. We got to get to this, and we've got to get to where they are looking at now.
He's on surveillance at that time on January 2nd, even though he said he never left the house. Police obtained a search warrant and actually searched the house with crime scene services. During that time, they found blood in the basement. Blood was found in the basement area, as well as a knife, which also contained some blood.
Could you repeat that last time? I missed it.
Yes, in the basement, crime scene services.
True Crime Crazy. Yes, he did have a ankle monitor on prior to this because he sold 2 fake paintings of Andy Warhol's.
We covered and found blood in the basement area, in a section of the basement. There was also a knife that was found. On the knife, there was also blood, and part of the knife was damaged. Your Honor, these various statements caused a delay in the investigation, to the point that during the time frame when he didn't report his wife and gave various statements, that allowed him time to either clean up evidence, dispose of evidence, in causing a delay. As of this time, Anna Walsh has not been found. So because of that, the Commonwealth is asking $500,000 cash bail. At this time, these are the charges.
Good morning, Your Honor. Mr. Walsh's wife has been missing since January 1st, and it is true that her employer contacted the police on January 4th. However, that was as a result of Mr. Walsh, Brian Walsh, contacting the employer to say, I haven't heard from my wife.
Watch him just stand there. Watch him. He just looks like I don't get it. Thank you, Suzanne Ellen. I live in Mass. Is it Cohasset? His house is on the South Shore. Mother's house is on the North Shore. It's about an hour drive. I have someone who was outside his house today, outside their house today, and the old house. She's supposed to send me some information later, so we'll know more later. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, Shani T, for your super sticker. Very kind of you both. I do appreciate it. Yes, he sold 2 fake paintings of Andy Warhol. I didn't know people really sold fake paintings anymore. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Just a quick thing. This is his attorney speaking right now. And, you know, she's trying to make a case for him, but it's really bad for him.
The employer suggested the security team, who was former law enforcement officer, contact both the Cohasset Police and the DC Metro Police, which he did. Mr. Walsh has given several interviews. We have consented to searches of his home. We have consented to searches of his property. We have consented to searches of his cell phone. I negotiated with Assistant District Attorney, to promote you, Lynn Beeland, on the terms of that to protect attorney-client. He has been incredibly cooperative. The charges are not anything relating. He's not charged with murder. He's charged with misleading investigators by not saying, as I understand it, he went to Home Depot.
He's not charged with murder. Well, who said anything about murder? You said something about murder. He's not being charged for murder right now. That's interesting you said that. You're his attorney too. Not good. Not a good look.
In Rockland. He did say he went to press in Norwell. And as Your Honor knows, Rockland, Home Depot was right next to Norwell. If in fact he was there, it was next in the town next to him. With respect to the other alleged omission, is that he was in Brockton and Abington. They don't have him stopping anywhere in those areas as far as the police report says. he did say that he took his son out twice on the 2nd. He is on home confinement. He has a bracelet on him. A violation has been noticed of him. So if he leaves here, there's a federal detainer. He will be taken to federal court. And I would suggest that on the bail violations in federal court, the appropriate place to decide those conditions of release is in the federal court. I would ask for low bail or no bail and to let the federal courts decide this. He's not going anywhere. He hasn't gone anywhere since January 1st. He's been in the house. That's true. He's been in the house with police almost 12 hours a day. I've been at the house with him, with police, for at least 8 hours a day. Well, not yesterday, but yesterday the police were at his house and he was at my home. But Friday and Saturday I was at his house for at least 8 hours with police officers present. So it's not that he's been there changing evidence or somehow impeding the investigation. The charges are he neglected to mention that he went to Abington and Brockton, and then he neglected to mention that he was at a Home Depot. I suggest on those charges, a regular person, as everybody has to be treated, that
So this is almost finished, but I want you to, after she says, "Thank you, Your Honor," look how fast the judge makes his decision. Just wait. Just wait. You're going to be like, well, he thought that through. It was a no-brainer. We'll just say that. It's coming. It's almost done. Just wait.
that would be a no bail situation. With respect to violation of conditions of his federal bail, that is most appropriately dealt with in the federal court. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Bail is set at $500,000 cash, $5 million surety. Can we get a 30-day date, Ms. Minor, please?
So there was that. Bail was set at $500,000 cash. He wasn't messing around. Clearly not messing around. She's like, "Thank you, Your Honor." She's like, I love Bostonians, they just don't mess with it, you park the car in the garage and let's get going. That's it. My Uncle Roland was from Boston, and did he post bail? It's $500,000 cash bond. If he has $500,000 sitting around, maybe, but not that I'm aware of as of now. He has not posted bond. But I do want to ask you something. If your wife goes missing, and you kind of already having trouble and all that, and you already have an ankle bracelet on, and because you've already been in trouble because of two fraudulent world-renowned paintings here, right? And you have 3 kids with her. This is what breaks my heart about this case. I mean, obviously, a life most likely lost, but we have, why are you buying this? You're not even supposed to be in Home Depot. You're not even supposed to be out of your house. And you got lost on your way to mommy, so you took a detour and bought $450 worth of cleaning supplies and stuff like this. Oh, but wait, there's more. There's a lot more. We're going to read this affidavit, but we've got, which it's going to tell you in the affidavit still. But I'm telling you guys, they are looking in some, I already showed you the voicemails. Now let me show you them taking him in today, yesterday, with, I think they had his feet taped off as well, which I hope that they did. If not, he's just wearing some booties. Hold on one second. Watching, he thinks this is hilarious. I'm just going to tell you this. Bostonians, New Yorkers, they don't mess around. You're messing with the wrong people. Brian, they're coming after you. He's all smiles. That's why I said he needs to write Lori Vallow. Right, Lori Vallow, go ahead. You've destroyed 4 lives, Brian. 4 lives, plus your own, plus both sides of your families. She came here for the American dream and got the end of it a nightmare, at least. All right, let's read that police affidavit. But this is the breaking news that has just came out in the last couple hours. They are looking for her. We've been in this, not in this specific location, but we've been in kind of this scenario, and it's been rather recently. Just breaking just a little bit ago, investigators have learned they're searching a Peabody trash station in connection to the search of Anna Walsh. Sky 5 overhead, if you can see a canine and officers in hazmat suits combing through the trash. I'm going to play that again. Yep. It's terrible. Now, they did take out the Volvo out of the garage yesterday. People's like, well, did you see him rolling out like, anything? And I'm like, no, his cars, the 2-car garage was in the garage. So if he took her out, we wouldn't be able to see because, the cars were already in the garage. All he had to do was either put her in, a luggage or a tote or whatever. But there's more. In the affidavit, he Googles, trigger warning, he Googles how to dismember a body. She's not. Nope, she's not here. Scott Peterson. Yeah. Kind of reminds you of that, doesn't it? Kind of does remind you of that. It really does. It does kind of feel like that. And let me see if this is the Republic Service Transfer Station on Forest Street, if anyone knows where that is. Also learning part of the search involves a dumpster brought from Swampscott apartment complex where Brian Walsh's mother lives. So everyone is just kind of, holding their breath. Now we're going to get to that affidavit. Broken knife was just writing that. Yes, they did find a broken knife earlier with blood on it, as well as blood in the basement. Listen, you're not going to get away with dismembering a person in your home. Now, the basement is unfinished in downstairs in there in the basement there. Hold on, give me 1 second. I don't remember which one I need to look at. Which one's the be this one. Perfect. Yes. So here we go. Clean a wash. I think this is it. Look at him, Mr. Smiley. Mr. Smiley. And I gave you the wrong one. No, that's got to be the right one. Okay, yeah, this is the right one. Okay. Missing Massachusetts mom Anna Walsh. Husband searched how to dismember a body, the report says. So Brian Walsh, he says that he Googles how to dismember a body in the light of, his wife Anna missing. And I'm sure 3 kids, this is what gets me, guys. I'm like, it's what really gets me. They have 3 kids, a 2-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 6-year-old is missing their mommy right now. And let's be honest, they're never going to get her back. They're never really going to get to know their mother. He took that. He's innocent until proven guilty in the court of law. I understand that. I'm telling you my opinion and what I believe. And it just breaks my heart. So Tishman, how do you pronounce that last name?
Tishman Spire, R.
Spire. Okay, Spire. Who is a real estate executive of Anna Walsh, vanished New Year's Day, and her husband, with whom she shares 3 children, he was arrested yesterday on a charge of misleading investigators about his whereabouts. Not Anna's whereabouts, his whereabouts, because he's on probation for the art. He has an angle monitor. He's not supposed to leave anywhere unless he gets the okay from his probation officer. 2 law enforcement sources told CNN that the police found internet records showing the convicted art swindler had searched how to dismember a body and, quote, how to dispose of a 115-pound woman's body, end quote. Let me just stop there. That is the stupidest thing you could do. Yes, children are in state custody. Guess how much Anna weighs? Guess how much? 115 pounds. Yeah, that's oddly specific. Exactly. Yes. Yes. Listen. I mean, do people just not think that, that they're just not going to get caught, that they're above it? She's tiny, yes. She's very tiny. Exactly. Red flag. Well, looking up how to dismember a body, really? Yeah. I mean, that's, yes. And then how to dispose of a 115-pound woman's body. And sadly, the internet will tell you anything, right? I mean, us true crimers, sometimes I think I'm like, oh my God, if people look up our search history as true crimers, it's going to be terrible. People's going to think we're lunatics, like YouTuber, but yeah, not very smart. Quote, his defense team is now going to have a difficult time trying to overcome this one. It isn't typical for someone to conduct these kind of searches, specifically when your wife is missing, end quote, retired NYPD Sergeant Joseph says to Fox News Digital. The new report did not indicate precisely where Brian Walsh, 47, conducted the chilling searches or on what device. He was arraigned Monday in Quincy District Court for misleading police. A plea of not guilty was entered on his behalf. The source also told CNN that investigators had turned their focus from a missing persons case to suspicion she may have been killed after receiving new information in the last 3 days. So they have received, obviously, new information in the last 3 days. And here is this, the affidavit, the probable cause. And it's got Brian Walsh up here. And it's $500,000 cash bond, which means you have to pay all of that to get out, not 10%, not, all of it. And this was dated today, which you saw the judge say $500 cash, bam, instantly, right? He didn't take too much time to think. And probable cause found for above offenses. Okay, and it says, I submit this affidavit in support of a criminal complaint for Brian R. Walsh, and then it's got his date of birth, social security number, all that, in violation for this affidavit sets forth facts and suggests reasonable interference from those facts to establish probable cause that between January 5th and January 7th, 2023, Walsh did mislead, intimidate, or harass other persons who was a witness or potential witness at some stage of the criminal investigation, grand jury proceeding, trial, or other criminal proceedings of some type, or a person who was aware of information, records, documents, or objects that is related to the violation of the criminal statute, or a violation of conditions of probation, parole, or bail, a person who was a judge, juror, grand juror, prosecutor, okay, blah, 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 blah. With that, proceedings of some type of intent to impede, obstruct, delay, harm, punish, or otherwise interfere thereby with a criminal investigating, grand jury proceedings, trial, or other criminal of some type. Okay. Let's see if it's got anything else. Okay, here we go. This is the good stuff. Well, not good stuff, but it's the stuff we want to find. On January 4, 2023, the Cohasset Police Department responded to a call of service related to the well-being check of Chief Justice Cushing Highway Patrol units subjected Miss Walsh to be a missing person, and I was subsequently requested to the scene to assist the investigation as a member of the Police Department Criminal Investigation Division. Pardon me. On January 4th, 2023, at approximately 18:35, I arrived at Chief Justice Cushing Highway to investigate a missing person, Anna Walsh. Investigators interviewed Walsh multiple times in relation to the disappearance of his wife. Walsh was asked specifically to provide a timeline for the days of January 1st, 2023 and January 2nd, 2023, and did so on multiple occasions. Walsh related that he had New Year's Eve dinner with a friend, Jim, Jem, which he and Anna hosted at their home. Jim, G-E-M, not J. What did I say? I don't know. GEM arrived around 8:30 p.m. and left around 1 to 1:30 a.m. Walsh related that he and Anna went to bed shortly after Jim left. Walsh further, I'm going to say Brian. I hate saying Walsh. Brian further related Anna told him she had a work emergency and needed to fly back to DC in the morning. Brian related Anna got ready and kissed him goodbye and told him to go back to sleep. Anna will usually take an Uber, Lyft, or taxi to the airport. Anna left between 6 and 7 a.m. Brian and Anna have 3 children, and then it's got something redacted. Brian related he got up around 7 a.m. And I believe it says, and made breakfast for the boys. In the afternoon, a babysitter arrived at the house, and Brian left and ran errands. And I think it says something 3 p.m. Brian went to Shaw's and got to get OJ and milk. When he came back home, he then left again about, it's like a copy or something that's you can't really see, something his mother's, who lives at redacted at Swamp Scott. At the time, Brian did something on his cell phone, so he did not use a GPS. That's interesting. Brian related he drove to his mother's house via route something Derby Street in Heininghamn. Route 3 North 93 through Boston, and instead of taking Route 1A, he something Route 1 and then maybe Route 114. Brian related the commute should have taken around 60 to 70 minutes, but ended up taking about 90 minutes. Well, that's interesting right there. How about that? Just a slow day, right? Within about 15 minutes of arriving to his mother's condo, he left to run errands for his mother at Whole Foods and CVS at Swampscott. Now, this is, I guess he got approved to go to his mother's house, but he didn't get approved to go to the Whole Foods or the CVS, or he didn't get approved for none of it. So he says he was running errands for his mother. Yeah, right, in my opinion. To get groceries and cleaning wipes. He went to go get cleaning wipes. Well, that's interesting. Like $450 worth? Asking for a friend. Walsh then went back to his mother's condo and then arrived home at around 8 p.m. Brian related one of the boys must have taken and lost his phone during New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Always happens. Brian related on Monday, January 2nd, 2023, his cell phone was found under redacted pillow. Brian related on Monday, January 2nd, he took redacted for ice cream. What it is, it's one of their children's. They're under 18, so they're redacted for ice cream. While his babysitter watched redacted, Brian took redacted to get a chocolate shake at Press in Norrell. On Friday, January 6, 2023, a massive search that included K-9 officers, Metro LEC search and rescue, state police search teams members, state police investigators, Cohasset police, and other local police partners underway for a missing person, Anna Walsh. The search resumed on the morning of January 7th, 2023. That afternoon, at least 6 investigators were tasked with driving to the North Shore area of Massachusetts to verify Brian's route of travel and verify his visits to uh, establishments like Whole Foods and CVS. These investigators were reassigned for other tasks and efforts to locate Anna. Multiple investigators spent multiple hours in the afternoon and evening on January 7th, 2023, traveling and viewing the video. Brian was not observed on video from Whole Foods or CVS in the time frame he stated that was there. Brian has been convicted in federal court in felony fraud by wire and is currently on pre-sentencing probation. The probation conditions include monitoring and home confinement. Brian must request leaving from his home each week and specify the time and the need for such leave. On the week beginning Sunday, January 1st, 2023, Brian was granted leave for dropping his children off to school each day from 8 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. and picking up his kids from 3:15 p.m. to 6:45 p.m. Along with other approved times was 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. for shopping on Wednesday, January 4th, 2023. On Sunday, January 1st, 2023, Brian had requested travel between 3 p.m. and 9 p.m. to drop off his mother. Brian told investigators that his mother had recent cataract surgery and that she was staying with him and at his residence so he could assist her. Brian said he had this time scheduled so he could bring her home after her recovery. During the interviews with Brian, he stated that his mother had recovered from the surgery quicker than expected and had driven herself home. However, he still used the time he had approved to go with her and run for errands. The errands were the trips to the Whole Food and the CVS that investigators later showed did not occur through the hours of viewing video evidence. It is important to note that this is the day Anna began missing. Ooh, give me 1 second. Okay. Brian's statement to investigators about the whereabouts of Monday, January 2nd, 2023 were consistent that he took his oldest child for ice cream or a smoothie in Norwell. This was during the morning hours he is allotted for school drop-off between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. There was no school on Monday, January 2nd, due to the holidays. Investigators later discovered, I want to say it's surveillance. Yeah, it says it's surveillance of Brian at the Home Depot in Rockland wearing a black surgical mask, blue surgical gloves, and makes a cash purchase. This trip was made in violation of probation conditions during the time that he was allotted to drop his kids to school. The data from Walsh's cell phone data extraction given on something also showed that device traveled to the area of Brockton and Abington during the week beginning January 1st, 2023. The itinerary for Brian's leave from home does not include such towns for approved travel. So he was going to non-approved towns as well as non-approved stores in those towns, which is way off the beaten path for Brian. This is not a complete list of Brian's approved leave for home and possible probation violation. The intentional, willful, and direct responses to questions about his whereabouts on days of September 1st, 2023, and Monday, January 2nd, 2023, were a clear attempt to mislead and delay investigators. This thing keeps moving. Investigators explained that Brian, that he would naturally be suspected of harming. Investigators explained, I don't know if it says to Brian. Okay, yeah, to Brian that he would naturally be suspected of harming his wife due to her disappearance, and they would need to account for his whereabouts. The fact that he asked a specific question and gave an untruthful answer that led investigators out of the area caused a clear delay in search for the missing person, Anna Walsh. Brian intentionally gave the untruth statement knowing investigators would need to travel and corroborate each statement. In any criminal investigation or investigation into a missing person, physical evidence and video evidence has the risk of being lost. I know from training and experience that physical evidence, specifically evidence that is outside of in the elements, may deteriorate over time. I also know the video evidence varies in retention time. Video files may be overwritten, we know all about that, as frequency as every 24 hours, and every second is valuable when searching for such evidence before it is lost. Conclusion. Based on the facts set forth herein and based upon my training, education, experience, and participation in the investigation, I submit that there is probable cause to believe that Brian R. Walsh has violated GL C-268, 13B1, witness, juror, police, court, official, intimidate. Wherefore, by the affidavit and application, I respectfully request that the court issue a criminal complaint for Brian R. Walsh, date of birth, redacted, social security number, don't care. So, there we go. That is crazy. Gloves, cash purchase for almost $500. Yes, he is a freaking snake. Prosecutors Lynn Beeland said Monday that investigators had found blood in the basement of the family's home about 20 miles southeast of Boston. Quote, blood has been found in the basement area as well as a knife, which also contains some blood. She also says, told Judge Mark Coven, who ordered Brian be withheld on a $500,000 cash bond, and that part of the knife was damaged. Now, she's 39 years old. She's a mother of three, aged 2, 4, and 6. She was reported by her employer, not her husband, because her husband called the employer, which I showed you guys the recording earlier, January 4th, that she didn't show up for work, and she worked. She was always faithfully at work. She was a very hard worker. Brian Walsh, who is on house arrest for selling a pair of fake Andy Warhol, allegedly told police last he saw his wife was New Year's Day when she left at 6 a.m. to catch a flight to Washington, D.C. for an emergency work trip. Beautiful Anna Walsh. And then you have this cretin here. In the interview with investigators, Brian told he failed to mention that he had gone shopping spree at the Home Depot January 2nd in violation of his probation to buy $450 in cleaning supplies. He was wearing a black surgical mask, blue surgical gloves, and paid in cash, which is what the affidavit said. And this is the Home Depot. Anybody in the chat ever shopped at this Home Depot? 1149 Hingham Street, Rockland. Represent Home Depot. Sponsor. Massachusetts on Monday, January 9th, 2023. According to an affidavit, Brian may have picked up cleaning supplies here after his wife was last seen. Listen, if my husband or wife was missing, let me just say this. And even, if I didn't do it, you still couldn't pry me into a store to buy cleaning supplies. I would be like a cat in a bathtub in water, trying to get in water. I'm not going in that door. I am not going in that door to buy a cleaning supply. Even if I am as innocent as Rin 1010, I'm not buying it. As a woman, I dislike Home Depot. Oh, I love Home Depot. Love Home Depot. I love anything home related. Now, this is where they are looking right now. This is exactly where they're looking. Let me show you this. Save big money when, yeah, no kidding. Apparently not, Mary T. She lived out of state, had status at work. She had an affair. He killed her. I am thinking this either, in my opinion, I don't know the motive of this yet, but I would say the motive for this, in my opinion, based upon nothing that I know that is the actual motive, I would say it's either something like an affair, she seeing somebody, he seeing somebody, or they're both seeing somebody, or financial, like something like life insurance, something. Yeah, we don't have. Someone said, "Oh, I love Home Goods." Yes, I could live with some Home Goods. We don't have Menards. I wish we had Menards. We don't have Menards. Menards is like, isn't Menards like in Ohio and Pennsylvania and all that? Side note, I know I'm getting sidetracked. But look, they are searching through all of this. I don't know. Like, I really don't know if they're going to. Let's see if anything's popping here. I kind of feel, when you Google something like how to dismember a body. What is that? Is that okay? I don't know if that is the actual photo that Andy Warhol, replica that it was supposed to be, or actually original that he was saying. That's why he's had, going to freaking jail in the first place. But if that is, doesn't it kind of look like a hatchet? Or is it just me? Or does it look like a cell phone, someone holding it up? I'm a true crimer, so I'm going to think a hatchet, What do you think? Has been missing and was convicted of Warhol art fraud. I mean, look how beautiful she is, and look at him. Until he just let himself go. Telling you. He was smiling, guys. Like, it's just the weirdest thing. How do women ever build up the trust to actually date, much less marry? The entire story is blood terrifying. Rest in peace. I know. I'm just trying to see if anything's else is going off here. I think they need to talk to Brian's mother, because if anybody knows anything, I feel like his mother, because he did go in that direction that day, right? This survey just came out 24 minutes ago. Someone asked, did he kill his wife Anna? And it says 98%, 98.8% says definitely, 1.2% says innocent. And it's based only on 82 votes, but that's like, yes, he stated that he left his cell phone and he did not use a GPS and he got lost. Isn't that convenient? Isn't that convenient? You happen to leave your cell phone. You happen to Google how to dismember a body. You happen to Google of how to get rid of a 115-pound body. Your wife happens to be missing. I mean, come on. When his dad died, he stole everything in the house, even his car. Do you know this cat? Just curious. Or did you read that? Seems like a lot of movement for this guy with an ankle monitor. I know. It's like he's moving around a little bit. They happen to turn off his AB for travel. Yeah. If I lose my phone, I'm looking for not going to Home Depot. And that's exactly right. I'm going straight to AT&T. I wake up in the morning and I'm like a cat looking for my phone. Brian has been banned from baby name books. Yeah. I'm telling you, the Bryans, they're really getting it, man. I live in Florida and my mom lives in South Dakota, and I know how to get straight to her house without getting exactly, Connie. How do you get lost trying or going to your mother's house? Did you read anywhere how much time he was facing for art fraud? I don't know how much time he was facing, to be honest with you. My brother's name is Brian and he's weird AF. Oh God, Mary. Take the name back, Brian's. Someone is looking at their ankle monitor procedures right now. Yeah. I don't know. Like, what's really sad was they were once a really beautiful couple, right? And like now it's all destroyed. Just beautiful homes. Okay, what's this? A Massachusetts State Police cruiser pulled out at the transfer station in Peabody, where investigators are combing through trash. The search in connection with the disappearance of Cohasset woman Anna Walsh. Oh, come on. Why is it spinning like that? Is there a corner band? No, it's just a. Love how it just says Peabody. How is it supposed to sound? Peabody? 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 Why does it keep skipping, yo? It's ridiculous. The horn scared me. I sent you an email about his art fraud stuff. Oh, it's a lot. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. That scared me too. Okay, 1 second. Let me exit this. I wonder if they found something. That's what I'm wondering. Here we go. Let's see what
Defendant took art from friend, falsely offered the authentic Warhol paintings for sale on eBay, but delivered fake paintings to buyer. Boston, a Lynn man pleaded guilty today in connection with taking and attempting to sell 2 Warhol paintings on eBay. Brian R. Walsh, 46, pleaded guilty to 1 count each of wire fraud, interstate transportation for a scheme to defraud, possession of converted goods, and unlawful monetary transaction. U.S. Senior District Court Judge Douglas P. Woodlock scheduled sentencing for August 2, 2021. In May 2018, Walsh was arrested and charged. In early November 2016, a buyer found 2 Andy Warhol paintings for sale on eBay. The paintings were 2 of Warhol's Shadows, a series of untitled, abstract canvas paintings from 1978. The original listing price for the paintings was $100,000. In the advertisement, the eBay seller included a picture of an invoice for the 2 Warhol shadow paintings with Warhol Foundation numbers and a purchase price of $240,000. The buyer believed the paintings were authentic and between November 3rd and 5th, 2016, arranged with Walsh, the seller, to purchase the artwork outside of eBay for $80,000. Walsh and the buyer signed a contract which specified that the buyer had 3 days to terminate the contract and get a full refund if the buyer did not accept the artwork. On November 7, 2016, the buyer's assistant flew to Boston and met Walsh to retrieve the paintings, providing him with a cashier's check for $80,000.
$240,000.
According to bank records, the cashier's check was deposited that day into an account that Walsh controlled, and $33,400 was subsequently withdrawn in the following 14 days. On November 8, 2016, the buyer removed the painting's frames and found no Warhol Foundation authentication stamps and noticed that the canvases and staples looked new. When he compared the paintings to the photographs from the eBay listing, they did not look identical. The buyer concluded that the paintings he purchased from Walsh were not authentic. The buyer then repeatedly attempted to contact Walsh, who initially did not respond, and then made excuses for the delay in refunding the buyer's money. Walsh initially gained access to the paintings through a friend, the victim. Walsh was present when the victim first purchased a Warhol painting. Sometime after this purchase, the victim purchased the 2 shadow paintings. Thereafter, while visiting the victim in South Korea, Walsh told the victim that he could sell some of the art for a good price. The victim agreed and let Walsh take the 2 shadow paintings and other fine art pieces. After Walsh took the items, the victim did not hear from Walsh and was unable to contact him. Eventually, the victim contacted a mutual friend who met with Walsh and retrieved some of the art. On May 3, 2011, Walsh attempted to consign the Warhol paintings to a gallery in New York City, at which time he also had other art belonging to the victim. The gallery declined to accept the paintings because Walsh did not have a bill of sale. The charge of wire fraud provides for a sentence of up to 20 years in prison, 3 years of supervised release, and a fine of $250,000. The charge of interstate transportation for a scheme to defraud provides for a sentence of up to 10 years in prison, 3 years of supervised release, and a fine of $250,000. The charge of possession of converted goods provides for a sentence of up to 10 years in prison, 3 years of supervised release, and a fine of $250,000. The charge of unlawful monetary transaction provides for a sentence of up to 10 years in prison, 3 years of supervised release, and a fine of $250,000. Sentences are imposed by a federal district court judge based upon the U.S. sentencing guidelines and other statutory factors. Acting United States Attorney Nathaniel R. Mendel and Joseph R. Bonavolanta, Special Agent in charge of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Boston Field Office, made the announcement today. The Lynn Police Department provided assistance with the investigation. Assistant U.S. Attorney Timothy E. Moran and Kunal Pasricha of Mandel's Criminal Division and Assistant U.S. Attorney David Lazarus, Chief of Mandel's Asset Recovery Unit, are prosecuting the case.
Holy God. You know, the irony of it all. $250,000 plus all of that jail time that he got. So, every bit of that fine he has to pay, right? And he got what, $225,000 for the paintings, plus up to what, 20 years in jail? You think he watched one too many Mission? I think so. Yeah, the law doesn't play when it comes to folks screwing over finance. No, I mean, you know, an Andy Warhol, like one of the greatest artists of our time, right? No, what does he do? Something like real estate. He's like a real estate CEO. Boston, I'm showing something at the dump. Okay, let me look. Let's look. Boston Channel 5. Let's look. Are they live, Vet Girl? go. Oh, let's make sure. Boston Channel 5. Says a bloody knife found at her home. Yeah, we've known that when she was a property management CEO in DC. But didn't he do something with property as well? 24 minutes.
As we have 5 investigators. The first to break the story, breaking
stories
that matters to investigators.
These cases are Karen Anderson broke news of this arrest.
This just released reportedly on News Center 5. Just seen, investigators are still right now on the scene of this trash sorting facility here in Peabody, and we do know that this is in connection to the disappearance of Anna Walsh from Cohasset. So here's what we know. Court records show that her husband, Brian Walsh, was supposed to visit his mother on the North Shore in Swampscott January 1st. That was the last day that Anna was seen. And today, there was some type of police activity at his mom's.
What is that? I hate how they always like make the screen smaller or put this play button thing there. Looks like a bunch of trash or something out there.
In Swampscott. We saw crime scene tape.
Look at there. Beautiful.
Around
Just absolutely beautiful.
Complex. Brian Walsh has been charged with misleading police in their investigation into his wife's disappearance. After that, police.
Look at that, what they're searching through right now. Holy echo. I'm sorry. What kind of bird don't fly? Jailbird. Jailbird.
Police activity near his mom's home. We now see investigators at the transfer station here in Peabody, where they have been meticulously combing through garbage, one dump truck at a time. We could see a canine assisting them in investigation.
So they either have to think that she's in that, like he threw her in a dumpster or something, or they're looking for some other evidence. It's really sad, man. I feel so bad for these kids, like so bad.
Investigators are dressed in full hazmat suits. Now, these searches of trash coming after prosecutors revealing today that they found blood in the family's Cohasset basement and that Brian Walsh bought a mass of cleaning supplies after his wife was last seen. Back out here live, we do not yet know what, if anything, investigators have found here. As soon as we do, we'll let you know.
Makes you wonder, did they find something? So today is, 8-9 days she's been missing. So it's very sad, very, very sad. Who is that? No. I wonder if his mother knows what he did. I don't know. Like, I feel like if anybody knows anything, it would be his mother. Something must have given them a good indication to look in the trash. Yeah. I'm thinking, nowadays it's our electronics. Our electronics are with us everywhere. And if you have any modern day car, you have two things that's technically going down the road, pinging at all times, one way or another. And one is your phone, and the other one is your car. It's constantly sending things back to the manufacturer. about the motor and everything. Nowadays, a lot of the cars you can start with your phone. I can start my car with my phone, right? I can lock it with my phone. I can change the heat with my phone. Everything. So, and it's only going to get, crazier from here. Do you think his mom even had cataract surgery, uh, and was staying with him? Seems like something stupid. Like, I think she probably had cataract surgery, but I think it was a good excuse for him. And that house catching on fire. Listen, don't get me started with that. And ironically, it started in the attic. Now, as of now, they're investigating it, but they haven't said why. Now, they sold that house less than a year ago, I believe. What state have kids, not his mom? Why the state has kids, not his mom? Well, I mean, I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe she's not able to take care of them. I don't know. Now, uh, yes, illusion, but he said that she was doing a lot better and got than expected and was able to drive after like a day or so. But yes, Mary T, going back to that, there was a fire in the house that Anna had sold prior to them moving into this house. Now, people do live there now. There was a man and a woman, and they have one or two, and I think it was one, maybe two really young kids, but the nanny was there. They all got out okay, but it just makes you wonder, why did it start, you know, in the attic? Did he have something in there that wasn't supposed to be? Um, let's see if there was an interview of like them putting out the fire. Let me see if it's here or not. Look at this.
More than a week
Idiot coming out.
Ryan Walsh, who was just escorted out of the Cohasset Police Department. Soon he will be in court.
Watch him.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I mean, you just don't understand. This is one of the last persons that saw Anna. He was at their house having dinner with him. This must be Jim with a G.
Saturday night celebrating the new year together.
Brian cooked an elaborate meal for us, and we hugged and celebrated and toasted, and just what you do over New Year's. And there was a lot of looking forward to the new year. Like, there was no indication of anything other than celebrating the new year, like problems on hold, whatever life's problems were. But the fact that they had been living in separate homes. She was commuting back and forth. She wasn't seeing the children as often as she would have liked. I mean, she loved everybody. She definitely loved her children dearly. And so it was festive. She was texting with friends, and, she was sitting next to me at the bar stool and at their kitchen. There was absolutely no indication that any modicum of a tragedy of disappearance or anything else could have happened that night.
But certainly it did. Something, either he had to have this planned, in my opinion, or there had to be some type of heat of passion. This is the house that burnt. Okay, I can't play that because it's got one of my subscribers was here today and at the new the house, massive house, townhouse that they have. It almost kind of looks like a brownstone or something. Very, very nice home. Another white car in frame. Right. We're gonna look for white cars forever now, aren't we? Flying Fish is up with these bad Bryans. I know. I don't know. I don't know if he needs money. No, there's a lot of evidence. They found a bloody knife, a broken bloody knife downstairs in the basement. He's already on parole for selling 2 fraudulent Andy Warhol paintings, waiting to go to trial for that. Affluent town in Massachusetts. Yeah. Southern Gal Gingin, the reason I think that this happens, I think ego gets in the way, pride gets in the way, and the moment and the heat of passion, their emotions get to them and they don't think. That is the best way that out of studying, looking at all of these crime scenes, as humans so well do, sometimes fall in to their feelings and how they are feeling at the moment. But in that feeling is a lifetime of repercussions, a lifetime of consequences, or get used to living a lifestyle they can't afford anymore. Potentially. And that is exactly right. Emotions have no intelligence. No intelligence. And you have to, you have to be, emotionally intelligent. When you are in those moments, you really have to know thyself, right? And not go there. Because let's be honest, we've all been in a situation or in situations where, you feel like you're going to explode or something, right? And people just take it way, way too far, and you have to know yourself. The house on the screen, is that the one that caught on fire? Correct. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And they're saying like it's really nothing that they're aware of right now involved, but I really feel like this is going to play out. This has music to it, or I'd play it with the music. This happened in the couple's last home, which burned last Friday, days after Anna went missing, and now is suspected dead. This could not have been a coincidence. Do you agree? I 100% agree. I don't think that this is a coincidence. In true crime, coincidences never happen. Very rarely they happen, but just say, this is a very affluent area, right? Very affluent. Beautiful area. This was
I hope all is going well. I was just reaching out to basically everybody I could. Anna hasn't been in touch for a few days. I spoke to work today. She hasn't been in. We went to the house and she wasn't there, or looked like she's been there recently. So just wondering if you've spoken to her in the near, recently, like Sunday or in the last 2 days. Just so let me know, or if you know anyone that might have that contact with her, calling everyone. So sorry to bother you. Sure, everything's fine, and you can wish you thanks. Good afternoon, Brian Walsh. Hope all is going well. I was just reaching out to basically everybody I could. Anna hasn't been in touch for a few days. I spoke to work today. She hasn't been in.
Anna is an immigrant, and her family is out of the country, right? And so yeah, police still at the home. This is the home that they are currently I think it's like right here. Yes, I think it's it. I think it's this house. It's a really big house. I mean, they've been searching in the woods, everything. While it's just snowing. 1 hour ago.
Found blood and a blood-stained knife inside the family's basement. Now, as of 2 p.m. today, the district attorney's office told us Brian Walsh has not officially been named a suspect in this case, but as prosecutors pointed out in court today, police have already caught him in several lies.
Various statements caused a delay in the investigation, to the point that during the time frame when he didn't report his wife and gave various statements, that allowed him time to either clean up evidence, dispose of evidence.
Now, the investigation started January 4th when Anna Walsh's employer reported her missing. That's when police started questioning her husband. Brian Walsh first told police that Anna left for the airport January 1st between 6 to 7 a.m. to go back to work, but there's no record of Anna ever making that flight. Walsh then told police later that day he went to his mom's house to take her to run errands at CVS and Whole Foods. He said he got lost along the way and forgot his cell phone at home, but investigators could not find him on surveillance video at CVS or Whole Foods. Instead, the day after Anna went missing, police found him at Home Depot wearing a surgical mask and gloves and buying hundreds of dollars worth of cleaning supplies.
Surveillance at that time, purchasing about $450 worth of cleaning supplies. That would include mops, bucket, tops.
And I would like to know, where are those buckets and those tubs and all that where he was cleaning with? Where are they at, Brian? 5MXDXR unalive in North Carolina today. What is happening? Oh my God. Dang, Tracy. I didn't see that. Need to familiarize myself a little more with this case, but thank you so much for sharing something new, hun. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Appreciate you, Lindsay. Thank you, my dear. It's very kind of you. Well, this case has only been going on for literally like 4 days, 5 days, like in the press at least. Cannot collect life insurance until she has been pronounced dead. That would not happen. I don't know. No, they sold. The house is sold. I can tell you that. But what makes me wonder did he leave something in that attic? Some type of paperwork, documents, um, evidence. I don't know. It's so weird. It's strange. Well, this guy, her husband, is definitely a creeper. Yeah, definitely a creeper. Now they are. Look at him. Ugh. Now they are searching. They did search their pool. He wasn't buying chemicals to clean the pool, I can tell you that. It's really terrible. And the computer evidence, yes. Yeah, they found, which I said earlier, computer uh, with the probable cause, how to dismember a body, and how to what does it say? What was it? I don't know if it was store or uh, dismember a 115-pound body, which she is exactly 115 pounds. Poor child. That's what hurts me, other than Anna, but just the kids' lives. You know what I mean? They're ages 2, 4, and 6 on his own computer. Yeah, that pool was nasty. It's like clearly, I mean, that was more like a pond at this point. Yeah, how to dispose of a 115-pound body. That's what it was. Thank you, Texas. Please. It's just craziness. What's this? 192. Brian Walsh has misled the police, purchased hundreds of dollars worth of cleaning supplies is being held up. What's this though? This looks like this traffic is exactly like it was when we were at Quentin Simon's house. Everyone's driving by just to see what's going on. It's exactly what they were doing. Watch him get out of the car. Oh my God, watch this. Oh no, this isn't when he's getting in the car. That's when he's like smiling. Like for what? That's the thing. For what? She was from Serbia. A woman from Serbia goes to America and is living an American dream, then disappears. Has been in touch with missing. Okay, mother. Well,
This is a big story here because a woman from Serbia goes to America, living American dream, and after that she disappear. She have a husband, but husband is very mystery because he was arrested. This is a big story here.
That is what we call the mega douche haircut. Entering Cohasset. They've had dogs out. They were looking around rocks, cliffs, everything, just everything. I mean, look at these houses. These are like, oh, this is the fire. This is the fire when it happened. Sad, man. I don't think so, because they check all that, right? Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you, love. I think so too, and like, it's puzzling because like that was her house. Um, she sold it. They moved in, and now she's missing. And like, I don't know if it was the same day or the day or two after she went missing, but she's only been missing like 8 days now. But like the same day or the day after, maybe two max, this house catches on fire. That's what I want to know, Leo. Did he burn up evidence? But they're like, they're not saying anything right now. It's so weird. And it's like, this is Brian, man. Like, he's clearly, oh, wow, look at this. That's incredible. I know that they said the fire or the smoke was so bad at one time, they had to pull everyone out. You know, why did that happen? It's you just don't know. This is the home right here. This is one of their homes. They have like another like nice townhome, like a really, really nice townhome. The fire was like, I don't know if it was the day of WBZ TV. Let me find it. WBZ TV. Thank you. WB. Okay. Um, Found evidence. Let's look at this. WBZ TV. Nine minutes. Source: investigators searching through trash at Peabody Transfer Station found evidence connecting to missing. Okay, here we go, guys. Cohasset mom, Anna Walsh. All right. I'm going to follow that. Ring the bell. Let's see if anything else is breaking. Okay, 1 minute. Here we go.
Pappas is continuing our live team coverage of the investigation. Lisa's in Cohasset tonight, and Lisa, it seems every hour there's a new development in this case.
Yeah, now more than a week since Anna Walsh went missing, and the search is very much active right now. We just confirmed piles of trash up in Peabody are being searched in connection to this case. The search also extends into Swampscott. Earlier tonight, we confirmed with the Swampscott town administrator that they are working closely with Cohasset police as well as Mass State Police to investigate this tragedy. Meanwhile, police continue to keep a watch on the Walsh home here behind me in Cohasset. The big development so far today, the missing woman's husband, Brian Walsh, faces charges in connection to this case. Take a look at our video and you can see Brian Walsh in Quincy District Court this morning, charged with misleading police in the case of his missing wife, Anna Walsh. Brian had told police his wife was last seen on New Year's Day, but he didn't report her missing until Wednesday, January 4th. Now, in court today, we learned from prosecutors that a bloody, broken knife was found in the basement of the couple's home in Cohasset. Prosecutors also say there's surveillance video of Brian Walsh in Home Depot the day after Anna went missing on January 2nd, and he's shown buying nearly $500 worth of cleaning supplies like buckets, tarps, mops, and tape. Police say he lied to them about this and where he had been in the days since Anna went missing.
In the basement, crime scene services recovered and found blood in the basement area, in a section of the basement. There was also a knife that was found. On the knife, there was also blood, and part of the knife was damaged.
Brian Walsh was held on $500,000 bail in court today. Meanwhile, the search is still very much active for his wife, Anna. Again, that search now continues to the North Shore up in Peabody as well. As soon as we learn any new information about the search for Anna Walsh, we will let you know. Live in Cohasset, I'm Lisa Pappas for your local station, Boston 25 News.
So it's Peabody, not Peabody. Peabody? Is that how you pronounce it? Peabody? Breaking WBZ iSource says police found evidence involving the disappearance of missing mom Anna Walsh at a trash facility in Peabody. Per Cheryl. Okay, here we go. Trash at Peabody Transfer Station. Okay. Still nothing. Let's see if there's anything else breaking. 40 seconds ago, the Washington Times, Massachusetts police arrest Brian Walsh husband for misleading investigators. Incoming tsunami, new charges against Brian Walsh legacy. You're funny as hell. Look at this. Some of these people, these GIFs. Incoming. Mother chicken. It's really sad. Just finished watching A Murder in Mansfield. Your relationship with your mother reminded me of my son and myself. I could never imagine the trauma that still affects you to this day. I do see major similarities to the Anna Walsh case. So, 4 minutes. Breaking. Team source. Find evidence. Okay. Let's see if there's anything. Oh, wow. Look at this. Not to, what being done to improve athletic safety. This is like, I guess, like a heart thingy. It keeps the, from like I guess it's like a helmet for your heart. You know what that is? It's basically like a bra for guys, but for one boob. Something women have been dealing with for decades. ever since the brawl came out. Is that a defibrillator? Cardiac health being good. Good. They need safety harnesses for that. Oh God. Like a jock strap. I knew we were in good hands. And it would come out. Okay, let's look, see what else, if there's anything else coming out here. Incoming. I can get over that. Okay, I-team evidence connected. Case found Peabody trash. Let's see if there's anything. 946. Okay, this just came out. Let's transfer over here. That pool is very disgusting. Like, buy a new pool.
Forecast on the CBS Evening News with Nora O'Donnell.
I-team sources confirming tonight that investigators are combing through a trash facility looking for evidence connected to a missing.
That was weird. Oh, come on, man. I don't want that.
Investigators. Good evening to you. I'm Ken
Okay.
McLeod, and for Chris tonight, prosecutors say he failed to disclose that he went to a Home Depot after the disappearance, where he allegedly bought more than $400 worth of cleaning.
Ken, investigators with police dogs were searching inside big piles of trash inside this transfer station off Route 1 in Peabody, and we're told by I-team sources that this search is in connection with the disappearance of Anna Walsh. Now, police are looking for any type of evidence connecting them with the missing Cohasset mother. We want to show you Sky Eye video right now, or any of the cleaning supplies that her husband Brian Walsh had purchased, any of those items that he may have thrown away. Sky Eye shows investigators in hazmat suits inside the green.
Don't tell me he recycled like the paper towels and stuff. Please don't tell me that. Please don't tell me that. Peabody. That would be crazy if he did.
Works facility, sifting through mountains of trash, and we know the 39-year-old mother has not been seen since New Year's Day. We also know that Brian Walsh's vehicle was impounded over the weekend. I-team sources tell us there is evidence that car was recently cleaned. So now investigators will have to retrace Brian Walsh's steps, looking at his cell phone activity, surveillance video, and any information they can pull from his GPS ankle monitoring device that he's wearing.
Can y'all see that dog that's sniffing around down there?
And connect.
Let me see if I can.
Connection with a separate federal PS ankle monitoring
dog.
device that he's wearing. In connection with a separate federal charge where he's charged with selling fake Andy Warhol paintings. So we know there's a lot of information, hoping for any type of information, any type of closure in this case. Live from Peabody.
Wow. Something's going to break tonight or in the morning. I can tell you that. I feel like, but they got to find her. That's the main thing. Yeah, is just finding where she is. Anything here? Yes. Anna Walsh's husband was searching how to get rid of a female body and how to dismember it. It keeps getting reported that Anna Walsh was last seen at 4:30 a.m. on New Year's Day. Seen by who? The husband? They have been working relentlessly on this case in the search. Yes, they have. They don't mess around in Boston. They're very strong. Boston and New York and all that. Also, I think we should give a lot of praise to the Moscow police, along with the FBI and all of that. They did wonderful. And now there's people out there, giving him grief. And I don't think that's fair. I think, it's okay to ask questions to some extent, but um, undermining when they've cleared someone, thank you, sassy wife, I think is, and saying that they are connected with, or could be even connected with like a serial crazy person like Brian, is just beyond anything. That's a lot to search through. Um, okay, that's what we just saw. Now let's confirm some evidence found below in connection, which I think that's what we just looked at. Yep. That's what we just saw. Thank you, Legacy. I mean, look how beautiful she was. 115 pounds. Oh, here's some really close-up video. Oh, look. They're walking away with something right there. God bless these people. Anne, are you talking about the Idaho case? No, we're not going to hear anything else out of that because there is a gag order. We're not going to hear anything unless it is from somebody that the gag order doesn't apply to, or until the case, like the actual the trial begins, which is probably at least 2 years away. I mean, Lori Vallows, it's over 3 years now, I believe, even from court documents. It depends. It depends. And yes, and that's true. It's not discovery the 12th. It is only a status hearing. In the beginning, the media did say that it was more of a discovery hearing, but now they have changed it. They've changed the dates a few times too with that. And it is just a status hearing. It's not how he has to plead or anything like that. Discovery won't be for a long time. Yeah, most likely. I mean, their landlord said Brian called him last week asking if they were security cameras. Channel 10 reported their land. What's that mean? Channel 10 reported. Think that baby Quinn was in it for. Yes, yesterday was his second birthday. I felt so horrible over the weekend. Oh my God. I think I had the flu. My body felt like it was breaking. So let's see here. What's a status hearing? It's just it's like a meeting, a pre-trial conference kind of thing, is all it is. They literally just discuss the status of the case, and that's it. No, it probably will not be televised. You're welcome, Susie. And the Lori Chad Daybell case will not be televised. It may be recorded, like they may do the voice, like audio, but that'll be that. Okay, guys, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you all for being here. We will see you guys tomorrow. Just let's pray that they find little Anna and justice comes for her quickly and swiftly. Another landfill dump. Yeah, something is in there. You're welcome, Heather. Thank you all. God bless each and every one of you. Hold the ones you love dear, because life is extraordinarily short and it can change at any moment for any of us. So enjoy the good times when they're good. Make it count. Love you all. Good night. God bless. Bye-bye.